Dennis Brager's with us from Los Angeles. Dennis used to be a tax attorney at the IRS. Still a tax attorney, but he used to work at the IRS. Dennis, good to see you. We wanted to bring you on and talk about the UBS story. We talked so much about it yesterday, and to follow up on this case here where UBS turns over the names of these account holders that had Swiss bank accounts. Boy, that was something else. Surprised a lot of people the way it ended up playing out, because these offshore accounts have been such a part of banking and life in general for so many years. What'd you make of it?
Well, it wasn't a big surprise that the names got turned over. These negotiations have been going on for quite a while. The Swiss government got involved, and it seemed we were heading down this path of at least some of the names getting revealed. As you probably know, it's the number I've heard is 4,550. Not the whole universe, but certainly a substantial number.
And in fact, both sides are really sort of claiming victory in this, in that the government actually wanted something like 50,000 names, I think it was. So they wanted a whole lot more. They're not getting it. And so the Swiss side, they're claiming a little bit of victory. Who really won here?
Well, it's sort of interesting. I mean, Commissioner Schulman, the commissioner of the IRS, commented on that, and he pointed out that it was never the IRS who came out with the number of 52,000 names. And the IRS spin is that they're getting most of the names that they were really interested in, those people that were actually evading tax and not paying U.S. Income taxes. So IRS is declaring a victory, and I think it's a defeat for the Swiss, in the sense that, you know, for many years the Swiss have touted their secrecy laws, and now it's pretty clear that it's got as many holes as Swiss cheese.
Very good, very good. So it is to some degree then, I guess, is what people were saying, a game changer. Is it that big a deal? This changes the way that. Well, you know,
you do your banking?
Well, I was going to say that people do their banking. I shouldn't say that. The way that people cheat in their. I mean, how much of a game changer is it?
Well, I think another thing that's important about the settlement is that it's expected that this is not only this settlement is not only going to be applied to UBS, but that the standards for releasing names to the IRS is going to be loosened by the Swiss government. And the next step you're going to see is the IRS going to Credit Suisse, the other large Swiss banks, and getting lists of more names. So I think definitely the handwriting is on the wall for people. And if somebody's got whether it's a Swiss bank account or an account in Hong Kong or India or China or anywhere else, now is a good time to try and get this straightened out.
And so if people are at home and they're, thinking they're paying their taxes but worried about something, I mean, you've been exposed to the people who do tax fraud as they're trying to evade the government, and others who simply might make a mistake. Just give us some quick tips for people who are thinking, what exactly is tax fraud? If you made a mistake innocently on your returns, you won't be put in jail, right? For a lot of these people want to know out there if they're worried.
No, absolutely not. I mean, the definition of tax fraud involves the fact that you must know that you're doing something wrong. And in most cases, people know. If you didn't report $500,000 on your tax return, you have a pretty good idea that maybe there's something wrong with that. It's not the innocent mistake where you forgot to, keep all your receipts. It's not you didn't understand the rules. In most tax fraud and tax evasion cases are fairly simple. It's somebody who doesn't report a significant chunk of their income on their tax returns, and they do it not 1 year, but multiple years. Tax fraud cases, especially criminal tax fraud cases, almost always involve what we call a pattern of conduct. So somebody does it not only in 1 year, but over a series of several years, usually at least 3, before the IRS is willing to bring a criminal case. So I don't think people who make innocent mistakes have anything to worry about. People who are not reporting, all of their cash income from, say, their restaurant, their dental practice, or whatever it might be, I think those folks have something to worry about. And I sort of say there's 3 rules. One is report all your income, Rule 2 is if you realize that you haven't reported all of your income, go see a tax attorney and see what you can do about cleaning it up before the IRS shows up on your doorstep. And 3, if you get to the point where the IRS has shown up on your doorstep because you've ignored rules 1 and 2, keep your mouth shut and go see an attorney about your rights at that point.
Good.
All right.
Good advice. The tax does get complicated, so
Absolutely.
people I'm sure would appreciate
Thank you, Dennis.
having that insight. Thank you so much.
Sure thing.
Dennis,
My pleasure.
Dennis Prager, who was a tax attorney at the IRS there out in L.A.